I have another one. This is going to be Drew here, who I believe is a blue belt. Apologize if I get that wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's blue belt. And then David here, who is a black belt. So let's get started, and let's see how this goes. I don't think this is a very long roll. This is just kind of open rolls until somebody taps. Okay, so right off the bat, this is good. So we got De La Riva. Drew's trying to De La Riva guard, and the good response to a De La Riva guard is exactly what Banta's doing. It's controlling the top leg and posting on the knee. This is always just a good response to De La Riva. And in general, any kind of open guard to where the person's kind of leaning one direction, you always want to control that top leg. The top leg is always going to be the kind of the retention leg for the guard. And the reset, and of course the top arm is always going to be kind of the framing arm to actually create space. So just trying to hold the De La Riva. Yeah. Okay, so one thing that De La Riva. Oh, I studied De La Riva for a very, 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 very long time. I think I did it in the gi and also did it in no gi. I think one of the things that a lot of guys when they first start playing with it, or they played with it for for a little while, is we get a little too, even myself, we get a little too comfortable just not really trying to get our opponent to move. Now I know this leg is being controlled, so you can't really control with this. You can't really move with this leg because there's no connection to Banta here. I will say with this top leg, it'd be a good reminder for Drew here is that he can't go up and down, right? Because Banta's framing out and pushing his leg down. But he can swing his leg left and right, and Banta can't control that motion as easily. So because of that, since he can swing his left and right, he may be able to get some sort of connection with the legs here or to Banta's hips. So that's the first thing. The second thing is this hand. This hand can be grabbing Banta's wrist here and starting to break that grip. Drew could retract his leg here and reach for the Banta's wrist here and try to break Banta's grip on the top leg because he needs this top leg. To start really utilizing De La Riva. And then, of course, the De La Riva leg, even though Banta has a frame here, to maintain that right hook as much as he can, and the way he does that is by straightening this leg. You must get Banta or David here moving. Okay, you got to get him like stepping to get reactionary. And if you just kind of stay stagnant here, the De La Riva is just going to fall apart. It's the same thing with a lot of guards. A lot of guards you can play like you don't have to move as much, like lockdowns and things like this. They're kind of those guards kind of designed for you to be more stagnant, but which they're not really. I mean, most guards you want to move them as soon as you get connection. But my point is like guards like this, like X guard and reverse De La Rivas and things like that, they're very important to utilize them to off balance your partner as much as possible. And if your partner's not having to step and move and react to your guard, then you need to fix something. So in this particular case, I would try to do what I said, do what I recommended, which was break the grip on the outside here, and then try to get some extension with the bottom leg here to get Banta to do some steps. And this will start to allow Drew to actually utilize the guard. Okay, good. And the other thing too, I like what he did right here. He switched to the other side. This is another good strategy. Instead of De La Riva going to your right, in this particular case, which is normal, you can actually switch to go to the left. And what this does is it can pull, if Drew pulls on this, the leg that he has a hook on here, he can take Banta's foot off the ground, or at least his heel off the ground. And this will create an angle to where you can start to play a little bit of De La Riva guard. Again, Banta's doing a good job here of what you should be doing against De La Riva, which is controlling and framing on both feet. So then, Drew recognized this and has a beautiful transition to a false reap position. His right arm is scooping underneath. Now, this is an excellent position to start rolling through and under to go into honey hole position and start going into leg entanglements. So this is a very strong position. Banta at this point, once this reap goes over the leg and Drew's arm is through here, Banta can't necessarily pass from this position. There's a lot of things you can do from David's perspective here to roll through and things like this, but for the most part, he can't just cut through now to the side because Drew has him kind of blocked off here with the false reap. There goes the inversion. you see how Banta kind of I keep saying Banta, that's his last name, but David, I'm just call him Banta. See how Banta keeps like stepping back with the foot here. He's collecting this leg, and now he has 2 feet locked behind this leg. In order for the false sweep to actually to work and for Drew to get underneath and to fully go through and do an inversion, this bottom leg has to get under both Banta's feet here. And until that happens, it's going to be very difficult to actually sweep Banta over, especially because, these guys, are not, if the person, if Drew is a lot bigger here than Banta, then he could still pull it off and start to go inversion and try to like go knees down and really force the position. But if you see these guys are pretty close in size, it's going to be difficult. So let's go ahead and go here. So both feet trapped behind Drew's leg here, and now Drew is not so good. Now he's flat, not flat on his back, just flat on his side, and this is no good. So once you're flat on the side, now his right hand is starting to become weak, and so we need to see. Yep, there it is. So right hand becomes weak, and then Banta just sprawls out here, and now it looks like he may be breaching the knees, which he's going to get to mount position. But we'll see if Drew can. There we go. So Drew frames out with his right arm, with his hands, which is great, and starts to try to retract his legs and get his legs back between the two of them. Banta switching to this nice body lock, goes to a body lock. There's no connection. He's trying to deny connection with the feet, with his legs to Drew's feet. Good head position, posting out on the head and head on the same side of the body. A lot of guys, and I'm not saying this is wrong, but if Banta's head was here on the other side, it'd be a little easier because Drew can move his head around and actually start to reestablish a guard. Because the head's on the same side and or framing on the face, this is going to be much more difficult for Drew to actually start to get play a guard. And that was really nice. So Banta switches back to the other side. So you see there's no connection with the legs. And as a matter of fact, I think Banta's feet were still both behind Drew's leg. And now he's just going to step around the corner. Very nice. And good on Drew here. He switches to the other side and he tries to frame out on that knee to try to get some space between the two of them and try to get to his knees in between. Banta's trying to step over and gather the legs here. This is a good strategy for passing. If you can kind of ride the legs and shelf them underneath yours, you can start to climb to get to a mount position and or kind of lock down the legs and start to do maybe some windshield wiper stuff, some float passing and things like this. There's a body lock. So nice body lock underneath here. We got where it looks like it appears Drew has a butterfly guard now, but okay, good. So one thing about when you have a body lock like this and the person has a butterfly guard, if you can really start to step your knees high, get to kind of step over the knees here, and this is going to put a lot more pressure up top on the face, and this is going to put you can see Drew's response. He's trying to block that knee from doing that. So this is correct, and we'll see what happens from here. Okay, so that was it. Got out of it, and Banta backs away. Drew decides to go to his right. Again, controlling the feet. Top leg is always controlled. This is kind of a common theme you'll see with a lot of black belts and advanced guys, purples and browns. They'll always control this top leg. I always say it. People are tired of hearing me saying it. But this top leg, as far as guard is concerned, the open guard position in no-gi is the leg that's the retention leg. So, and you can also see he's stepping on the bottom leg here. So this stepping thing, everybody started stepping on my legs a couple of years ago, and it was really annoying, but it's effective because all they needed to do is just impede your movement just for a second or two until they can, step through. So just like that. So you see, like Banta, he stepped on that foot, and because he stepped on that bottom leg, Drew wasn't able to fall in with his foot or get a hook. And now, Banta's foot is now on the outside here, and he has obviously potential pass, and this creates a reaction from Drew. And now Drew is on the defense technically, and reacting to Banta's pass. There goes the hips. The hips come in from Banta, and they go knee on chest. So this is a reverse knee on belly. It's a good position. Good frames from Drew. I like that he's framing. He's really trying to keep this foot inside. He's got to get rid of this. A lot of times if you can't reach and get this, I'll actually turn on my side to the left and just try to fight to get my right foot now, because Banta's not controlling my right foot, and try to stick it between his legs and try to get a hook facing the opposite side, so facing my left. So Drew would fall to his left. Banta would let go of this leg technically, and now the top leg would be the right leg. But then I would make it. I would try to get my right foot now to get a hook into position, and then go back to my right to reset to a butterfly. So Banta kind of forces the position of half guard, but it's going to be more of a reverse De La Riva guard here. Nice. Inside position has been obtained. So if you look at Banta here, he slide the arm over. Now he has an inside position. This is not good for Drew, because Drew needs the top arm as a framing mechanism. So it's always the top arm is always going to be good. It's going to be the good space maker. So the framing to create space so you can play your guard. Now that it's kind of shut down for now, this is going to really start to get him flat and on his side, and he's going to have less mobility. Boom, there it is. So flat, got a cross face, and he does have some leg stuff here, but this is somewhat, I'm not sure what happens, but if once somebody gets chest to chest connection, top of the body connection, the legs can just flop around here, and Banta can switch his hips and windshield wiper and flop left, flop right, and he can actually free his legs pretty easily as long as he keeps Drew flat here on his back. Nice. So he lost chest to chest connection. Drew was able to get his arm and frame back out, and then try to get his legs back in. So you see, as soon as he disconnects from the chest, now the bottom half, the lower half, the legs, can actually go back to active. Legs and hips. Got to watch out for his leg there, but I don't think Banta's going to go for a leg lock. There you go. He's controlling the top leg again. Top arms is a frame, and this is the battle. I mean, it's a pattern. Okay, so Banta switches to the other side and goes to pass to the right. Throws the leg out of the way. This is a good strategy too. As you get more advanced, it's very important to be comfortable passing left and right, in my opinion. So that way you can do that exact thing. You can bait left, you can bait right. This is a good strategy, is just to get it just increases your passing percentage, because you can go both ways. So I would always highly recommend people start to study. I've had people ask me questions such as, when I drill a pass or something, should I do both sides? Should I just drill on my good side, or should I drill on my goofy side and my goofy side and my good side, and do them equal? I don't know. Different coaches are going to tell you different things. I would say get good at one side, and then once you get good at one side, then you can start to do the other side, because it's better to be good at one side than then suck at both sides. So just be really master on one side, which is going to be most of your rolls. You're going to be passing to the left anyways. And then once you kind of feel comfortable in that, then start to go to practice to the other direction. So there's my rant on that. Okay, we got to mount. Drew recognizes the pass happened, and there wasn't much of a response to try to. So now we have a gift wrap. So the gift wrap is no good. Drew really needs to get on his left side here. I mean, he can't go to his right, because the gift wrap's not going to allow him to do that. So he really needs to get on the right and try to. Let's see if he gets. I'm sorry, not his right, his left. Sorry, on his left. So now Banta's going underneath the arm, trying to get maybe a head and arm. They're both kind of laughing because they know what's happening here. And there we go for the back. So, okay, so right there, classic. And even though Drew here's turning on his left, I know I had said he needs to get on his left. This is really the only place he can go. Again, I typically will switch my feet here and go to like a running man to try to unwind myself from this, kind of exposing my back, like going to a face down position. But it's not necessarily face down. It's called, we would call the stick. And I'm looking to switch my hips to the other side to unwind myself from that grip. Doesn't always work. But it's better than having this position, staying in this position. Now, luckily, Banta decided just not to stay there very long and just attack the back. If somebody did this to me, I may just abandon trying to go belly down, and I would just let them take my back and then work from there. So, luckily, he didn't stay in mount, right? Oh, he did stay in. Oh, no, he didn't. Okay, so now he's going trying to go belly down. And that was really good. So he kind of acted like he was going to go to the back, and then he switched to really drive his hips in and put pressure down. So that was nice. And we got a good frame here. I mean, Drew's not giving up here. He has a good frame because he's trying to get that his legs back in the mix. There's the belly down, right? But okay, so here's the difference. You know, BANTA, he forced that belly down. That's way different than Drew initiating the belly down. I know that sounds ridiculous. Like, Ryan, why would you tell somebody to go belly down? This is a terrible idea. It's the worst position in jiu-jitsu, and it is. However, if you really study, the stick position and rolling through, especially with body triangles and things like this, you'll see that even at a very, very high level, that move is actually utilized quite a bit. But since now BANTA initiated the belly down, now he's in a much worse position because it was on his terms, it was on BANTA's terms, and now he's not, he can't really defend now. Okay, so this is no good. Knees are off the ground over here, and hips are down. And now it's just a matter of time, most likely, unless he can do something crazy in here. Because in order for him to start to get built up, he has to lose one arm. He has to post one arm on the ground and start to build himself up. And that will just expose his neck to two arms. Because now BANTA can actually use both his arms to start to strangle. And or pull the forehead up, whatever he needs to do to get under the neck. This is beautiful. So now he opts to go to a smother. A lot of people ask me about smothering. I use smothering. Smothering is okay now, apparently. It wasn't okay for a long time, kind of like leg locks weren't okay for a long time. There's a lot of taboo moves that we just kind of do now. And I would say this is one of those moves I would, do it to people maybe not a guy's first class, I wouldn't do it to him, but, people that have been training well together, smother the person. This is actually a very good technique, in my opinion, especially if it just even steals a couple breaths. But you can definitely tap people out here just by covering their mouth. And why bother going under the chin and try to get under there if they're defending well? I should go over the face. What both BANTA is doing here. And what this does is it brings his hand out to actually take the hand and pull it off the face. And then in which case now, BANTA can go into the neck. So there it is. Boom. Right there. You see that? So as soon as the hand comes up, BANTA drives the arm under the neck. And that's so this is the worst position to be in jiu-jitsu, is belly down, face down, somebody in your back strangling you. And I say that because it should be a position you search for, right? This is the position we should all be kind of searching for, since it's technically one of the worst positions we can put our partner in. Okay, good roll. So that was a very good roll. A lot of good guard play and patterns to recognize there. I think Drew did a really good job, fending off for a while, and there's a lot to learn from BANTA's passing. So this would be a good study for passing and some guard play. From the blue or purple belt kind of guard. So, all right, that's it. All right, thanks.